The world is full of a lot of different places. You definitely live in one of those places. Some places are full of mountains, wealth, and everything you could dream of. But other places are just not that. Some places are places you cannot pay me $1 million to live there. Some places, if you're born there, that's just a sign of horrible luck when you were born. And in this video, I'll put them in an order, going from the least bad place to live on this list to the worst. Starting with Birmingham in the United Kingdom. Birmingham is one place I've never heard a single good thing about. All I hear about it is that it's depressing, rainy, ugly. Every single thing in Birmingham is an ugly, gray glob of nothingness. Birmingham is just a place I don't want to live in, really. It's depressing. There's not a single happy person there. They basically don't have anyone smiling in their entire history. And how can you smile when you say, I live in Birmingham in the United Kingdom? That is, if you actually get to the point where you can talk and don't get stabbed by some goon on the side of the road. There's a lot of urban decay in Birmingham that makes it very ugly. And I've never heard one good thing about Birmingham. Not once. Never once. Everyone there is depressed. And because there's nothing else on this list, Birmingham is in both last and first place at the same time. The next place is Venezuela. Venezuela used to be a good place to live. They had money, wealth, moolah, dollars, and it didn't suck that bad. They didn't have to worry about working 15 jobs just to have enough food to survive. But some dictator decided, yeah, we're going to take this oil money and we're going to use it in the worst way possible and run our country the worst way we possibly could. In modern Venezuela, everything's really expensive. They don't even use their currency because it's so worthless due to inflation. They use the US dollars nowadays. There's a lot of income inequality. There's some people who have 12 Lamborghinis at the top, but then there's also people that can't even afford eggs in the morning at the bottom. Their healthcare is really bad. Access to healthcare is like almost impossible. It'd probably be easier to become a celebrity than to get healthcare in Venezuela. They have very little food. They have an energy crisis too. You can't even have your fridge on for more than 12 seconds without the power going out. There's also a lot of crime. Everywhere you go, there's stabbings, gun shootings, and everything bad. But the thing about Venezuela, at least it's not Birmingham in the United Kingdom. I'm going to put Venezuela above Birmingham because I don't like Birmingham. Next up, we got Dhaka in Bangladesh. This is a city that's so insanely crowded. They have horrible traffic. This is what their train lines look like. Looks like 12 people fall off a day and probably die from horrible trains. There's probably more people on one of these trains than the entire state of Alaska. It's so crowded. It's really ugly. There's so much dirt and grime everywhere. Imagine the stereotype of India, but 10 times worse. And that is Dhaka, Bangladesh. And it's really poor. You can't get any good jobs because all the jobs suck and pay almost none because there's very few actual minimum wage laws there. And you can work forever and get almost nothing here. I'm going to put Dhaka as the lowest on this list so far because it just sucks. I would never want to live there if you paid me $5 million to live in the nicest apartment in the entire city. Next up, we got the place that everyone seems to like, but I kind of don't believe them. Los Angeles. In Los Angeles, there's traffic everywhere. You try to drive to the airport LAX, it'll take you 2 hours to go about a mile. It sucks. It seems like everyone there is an influencer. But if you were an influencer, I don't even understand why you'd move to LA. Because then the money you do make goes literally nowhere. I just don't get it. You know, the prices are so high. You try to buy a chicken sandwich from KFC, you're probably going to have to spend Lamborghini money in other places just to buy a KFC sandwich. The people are pretty annoying. I don't like LA people. I'm going to put LA as the best one or the least bad because it's not that bad, you know? It gets a little overhated sometimes, but Still, I wouldn't want to live there. Next up, we got the poorest country in the world. We got Burundi. Burundi is so poor that most of the population genuinely has to sustenance farm just to survive. They can't even make enough money from the economy to buy food. They have to farm it themselves. The average person in Burundi makes about a salary of around $200 a year, which that's such a low salary, I couldn't even buy a new tire for that much. They have to save up a year for a tire. That's just crazy to me. At least everything there is really cheap, but does it really matter? Because you live in Burundi, you don't even have access to any real money. It's also really dirty. It's just not the kind of place I would ever want to live. Burundi, it sucks, but I'd say Burundi is not as bad as Dhaka. I'd rather live there than in Dhaka, because Dhaka is so bad. Next up, we got Yemen. Yemen's poor with very little access to food. You know, they got bad health care, they got bad a lot of things. What's even worse about their country is they're in a civil war that's brutal and deadly. This civil war like cuts off access to everything, makes it atrocious, a nightmare to live there. I'm glad I don't, and I don't want to. Most of the people in Yemen are just barely surviving, trying not to get bombed, trying to find food enough for the rest of the week, and that's not quite the lifestyle that I would personally want to live. And I think that it's even worse than Burundi and Dhaka, since those places are bad, but at least they don't have to deal with a really horrible civil war. So I'm gonna put Yemen in the last place. Maybe even worse than Yemen, we got Detroit, Michigan. You see, Detroit, Michigan used to be a big manufacturer of cars. The factory started to move out of Detroit to other places where land was starting to get cheaper. From this old automotive industry, they got rotten buildings, they got a hood culture, they got tons of crime everywhere. You can't have anything in Detroit. You can have the world's safest vault in Detroit, and it'll somehow get stolen. Doesn't matter what's in that vault, it's gonna get stolen because you're in Detroit. Detroit's not good. I wouldn't want to live there, but really, it's not that bad. There's worse places. So I think Detroit's even a little better than Los Angeles because it's less annoying to be there. The people aren't quite as annoying as Los Angeles, you know. Last but not least, but maybe the least because I wouldn't want to live in any of these countries. We got Haiti. Haiti has some of the worst luck of any country in the world. They're on the island of Hispaniola, and it's separated into two countries. They got Haiti and the Dominican Republic. Haiti, somehow, every single bad thing that happens on the island only happens to Haiti and never the other side. Their luck is genuinely abysmal in every way possible. You see, they've always been abysmal. They've always been poor, impoverished, gang violence. They've always been enslaved by the Europeans. And then the country really got shook up by an earthquake of Port-au-Prince. And they took their already impoverished and horrible country, made it 10 times worse, so nobody has food or anything. And they're recovering from it now, but it's still a place I don't really ever want to live in. It's not the worst of the worst, but it's a place I do not want because all the gangs, bad lucks, they get tons of humanitarian aid at least. But also whenever there's a hurricane, somehow it never hits the Dominican Republic. It only ever hits Haiti because their luck is 0 out of 10. I think that I would put it probably just right above Burundi for being really bad, but not the worst of the worst. None of the places on this list are places you could give me $1 million to want to live in, except maybe Detroit. If you give me 2 million, maybe I'd live in Detroit. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. God bless, and see you guys later.